This video is intended to prepare you for what to expect when you receive the life settlement closing package. This video will not cover every page in the closing package, but will cover the pages that are most important to help you properly execute the package. After the offer has been accepted, Valmark and the registered representative will work with the life settlement provider to issue closing contracts. Our team will pre-fill the contracts to the best of our abilities, print them, and color code signature tabs for all parties involved. This process typically takes 2 weeks to have the closing package ready to mail. During this period, it is likely that we will have some questions for you so that we can best pre-fill the closing package prior to you receiving it. Once the contracts are ready for signature, we will send the package via FedEx Priority Overnight Mailing. We will also include a prepaid FedEx return label for the signed contracts to be sent back to our office once completed. Please note the FedEx package typically requires a signature for delivery receipt. Now let's walk through what to expect when you first receive the closing contracts. You will find at the top of the closing package a helpful cover page designed to address common mistakes, items left blank in the closing package that will need completed, and additional checklist items that we need to collect prior to closing on the sale. We recommend pulling this page out and using it as a reference tool as you complete the closing package. Common mistakes. Let's start by discussing some common mistakes that can slow down the closing process. It is crucial to be prepared for these items as it can delay the receipt of your proceeds. If a mistake is made while signing or completing a page, do not use whiteout. The required signer should instead strike out the mistake and then initial next to the correction. If you notice a typo in the contracts, please strike it out, correct it, and initial next to the typo. When filling out bank wiring information, be sure to call on your bank to obtain wire and account information to avoid delays in fund transfers. The routing number on a check will likely not be the same as the Fed wire that is required for a life settlement transaction. More to come on this later. All signatures will need to be dated by you unless noted with a do not date sticker. Pages that do not need dated will be located at the end of the package as a separate section and indicated so. The forms that we ask not to be dated are for the life insurance carrier because the carrier forms need to also be signed by the buyer, in which at that time they will date the forms. Throughout the package, you may notice blue stickers asking to fill in certain information that we were not able to pre-fill. Please complete these sections to the best of your ability. A notary is required to be present at signing and should complete all lines within the notary signature block as well as their notary stamp as instructed. Checklist items. Under this section, you will find a checklist of outstanding items that will need to be returned to us, alongside the completed signed closing package. Please note the specific items on this checklist may vary from case to case. The examples we'll cover today are the most commonly seen items. The original policy and application, including all pages. If original policy cannot be located, please let us know and we will attempt to order a duplicate policy from the carrier as soon as possible. For the insureds, a photocopy of their government-issued photo ID is required, such as a valid driver's license or passport. Proof of insured Social Security number is also required, either from a copy of a Social Security card or a redacted page 1 of a 1040 tax return from the previous year. If the owner is an individual, we will also need a government ID as well. On trust-owned policies, we will need proof of Social Security number for the trustees, a trust situs letter, a copy of the trust, including all amendments, and a confirmation of the EIN number. Confirmation of trust EIN is required, which can be completed by a redacted tax form or any other government form where an EIN is listed. Corporate-owned policies typically require an organizational chart or a list of board directors and a copy of corporate bylaws. Again, each checklist will vary from case to case. These examples should better prepare you for what to expect for additional documentation that any closing package may require. Tab legend. This page will state who will sign and what color tab they will be. For convenience, it may be helpful to pull this out of the package and reference throughout the signing process. Any individual required to sign will have an assigned color at their respective signature lines. Designated contacts. This form can cause confusion and typically leads to questions. Typically, we need to name 2 or 3 designated contacts for a servicing company to remain in contact after the sale. They will be in direct contact to periodically check in on you and your health. When the servicers call, they may ask if you've had any changes in health or if you've moved housing locations. Typically, designated contacts should be family members, close friends, or a trusted advisor that can adequately answer these questions. They will contact the designated contact first in order to request the information. They will only reach out to the secondary contact or third contact if the primary contact is unresponsive after several attempts. Please make sure to complete this form and indicate your preferred contact method for each appointed person. Fund distributions. One of the most important items that will need to be completed on every closing package is the fund distribution page, where you will indicate how you prefer to receive your settlement proceeds. You may elect to receive the proceeds either through wire or mail check. Please complete these fields under the appropriate section as instructed in the closing package you receive. There are several items to note before you fill out this page. One of the most common mistakes on this form is not having the correct routing number. Please call and confirm your routing number with your bank, as the routing number may be different from the number printed on your checks. You will need to ask your bank specifically for the Fed routing number. If you elect to receive your proceeds via a mailed check, the check must be mailed to a physical address and it cannot be a P.O. box. Lastly, the proceeds must be deposited into the owner's bank account name. For example, a trust-owned policy must go into a bank account in the name of the trust account. A corporate-owned policy must go into the name of the corporation's account. For these types of policy owners, it's crucial to avoid using a personal bank account for tax purposes, as the instructions will get rejected by the escrow company. Conclusion: the life settlement closing package can be lengthy and take time to complete. This short video covers only a few key pages that you will receive in the closing package. Please feel free to reach out to our team if you have any further questions upon receiving the closing package. We are here to help you make this as smooth and fast as possible.